Through the Ravine. In today's video, I'm going to do a rankings video of all 30 MLB broadcasters and their teams. Not to get very personal with those fan bases, and I know some of those fan bases may really like their announcers. This is just how I feel. Alright, so I watch every team's broadcast. I have watched every team's broadcast throughout this 2025 season. Understanding some of these guys may be retired at the end of the year. Here we go. Here's my ranking. As always, it is subjective. Number 30. The 30 spots for the least liked of my broadcast teams is going to be the Philadelphia Phillies. Paul McCarthy, John Kruk, get it, it's a Philly thing, and maybe I'm not bought into the Philly thing. Just not a big fan of this broadcast group. Just going to leave it at that. Number 29, just barely beating out the Phillies broadcast group. It's going to be the Cubs with John Shambi. The main broadcasters, the main play-by-play guys are going to get the most points or negative points for me, obviously, because they're the main guys. But the color guys still do matter. They definitely play a role. But John Shambi, I really have never been a fan of John Shambi. I've actually made this really known. I made this known a couple years ago. But yeah, he does the ESPN stuff and all that. I'm just not the biggest fan of him, with all due respect. Number 28, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates. And this is going to be Greg Brown on the Pirates broadcast. And yeah, he's been there a while. Race of Jolly Roger and all that. So that's his most famous call. But not the biggest fan of mine. I will say there's better out there, in my opinion. Number 27 is the Reds. We have John Sadik of Cincinnati. He took over for Tom Brenneman a few years ago. And he's been all right. He's been okay. For the Reds, filling in here and there. He has his pop moments, if you will, but overall, not my favorite. Number 26, I have the Chicago White Sox. John Schiffen. If I mispronounce those names, I really do apologize. John Schiffen for the White Sox. This is a younger broadcaster, and honestly, this younger broadcaster and John Schiffen could move up in the coming years. Number 25, I have the Twins broadcast group. It's going to be Corey Ovis, Justin Morneau. Yeah, so again, one of the newer broadcast groups. I think this group is fine. They have a potential to move up in my rankings in the nearby future. Number 24, I have the A's of Sacramento with Jenny Canvar and Dallas Braden. Yeah, I was really debating to put them lower on my rankings, but I mean, we get so many meme moments off of them, and Dallas Braden is actually a really good color commentator. He's one of the best in the game, but yeah, they have an interchange, Jenny and some other guy, but overall, Dallas Braden really bumped this up a lot to number 24 for the A's. Number 23, I have the Mariners broadcast group of Aaron Goldsmith. He's kind of recognizable at this point for the Mariners broadcaster. He does a good job. It's a Seattle thing. If you're into the Mariners, and you probably like Aaron Goldsmith. Number 22 are the Kansas City Royals with Ryan Lefebvre, Rex Hudler, and I think this broadcast group is actually pretty good. I think this one might be one of the more underrated broadcast groups in the game in Kansas City. But my only problem with that is when you listen to Royals games, it sounds like they're underwater. It sounds like they're muffled. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's the Royals just cheaping out, but it's very apparent that there is something wrong with their broadcasting system. I don't know what it is, but if it's the Royals cheaping out, that is a real shame because this is one of the better groups. 21, I have the Toronto Blue Jays, Dan Shulman and Buck Martinez. Yeah, Dan Shulman's fine. He's been around all the sports. He's been around a while, and he does the Blue Jays games up in Sportsnet for Toronto. So yeah, Dan Shulman's fine. Buck Martinez is fun. Fine broadcast group. Number 20, I have the Washington Nationals with Bob Carpenter and Kevin Franson. Yeah, Bob Carpenter, to my knowledge, is going to be retiring at the end of the 2025 season. Mostly known for his see you later calls with the Nationals, but yeah, he rounds out the spot for me at number 20. Number 19, I have the Tampa Bay Rays with Dwayne Statz and Brian Anderson. Dwayne Statz, Brian Anderson, this is one of the more underrated groups, I think, as well. I think Brian Anderson's a color guy. But Dwayne Statz, he's been the Rays guy for a while, and so he pops in at number 19. Number 18, I have the Guardians, Matt Underwood. That is really good, not only on the TV, but the radio, and they kind of sound similar to the radio guy and the TV guy on the play-by-play. So I guess it's just a Cleveland thing, and I do like it. So I do kind of dig it. So the Guardians pop in at number 18. Number 17, I have the Atlanta Braves with Brandon Gaudin and TJ Nitzwowski. Gaudin came in a couple years ago, taking over for Chip Carey, and it was a shock at first. I'm gonna admit it was a shock, and it kind of still is to this day. But Brandon Gaudin's done a good job. He's kind of taken over the Braves and relished that opportunity. I think he's done a fine job. The Braves color guys, they kind of mix in here and there, and I also think they're pretty good at what they do. So the Braves come in at number 17. Number 16, I have the Red Sox with Dave O'Brien as the main guy for Boston, and yeah, he's been there a while as well. I know him more than Don Orsillo for the Red Sox. I feel like he's been more synonymous for me with Boston, and so Dave O'Brien does a good job. Pops in at number 16. Number 15, right smack dab in the middle, I have the Brewers broadcast group. Jeff Levering and also Brian Anderson also fills in on the play-by-play. Brian Anderson has been the main guy for a while, but he does have other duties to go take care of. If Brian Anderson was the main guy for the Brewers, Milwaukee would be a lot higher on this list, so I just played it safe at number 15. Number 14, now the Angels with Wayne Randazzo and Mark Guppiza. Yeah, so the Angels have had a long shuffling of broadcasters ever since Victor left. Fans know who I'm talking about, and they were good. Victor and Mark were very good. Finally nailed it with Wayne Randazzo. Mark is one of the best color guys in baseball as well. I like this broadcast group a lot. Number 13, I have the San Francisco Giants with Kike and Krupp for the Giants, and of course other guys mixed in as well. The Giants overall have some pretty good broadcasters. These guys are certainly legends. They pop in at number 13 for me. Number 12, I have the San Diego Padres with Don Orsillo and Mark Grant. These guys gets a lot of praise in the baseball world for being the best broadcast group. They're not cracking my top 10, unfortunately for some people, but they're good. They're definitely good, but I think just others are better. Number 11, I have the Tigers of Jason Benetti and Andy Dirks. Yeah, I like Jason Benetti a lot. He's kind of been all over the place. He used to be the White Sox guy, I believe. And now he's the Tigers guy, and he's still just as good with the Tigers, does some other announcements as well. So Benetti and the Tigers are really good. Top 10, here we go. I have the Marlins of Kyle Seeloff. The Marlins have had some shuffling of announcers over the years, but overall, they've sounded the same. They really have cloned some of these guys, I feel like, in all due respect, because they sound really similar. It's just a Miami thing, I guess. But yeah, the Marlins have a good guy. Number 9, I have the Baltimore Orioles with Kevin Brown and Dan McDonald. This is one of the more underrated groups, I do believe. Orioles games have been low-key fun to watch because of this broadcasting group. And Kevin Brown, one of the younger guys in the game, and he's up and coming, and he's going to get better. And Dan McDonald, he brings an SEC type of feel. He brings a college vibe to this broadcast group in Baltimore. It just is a really good mix, and yeah, I really like this group a lot. So they come at number 9 for me. Number 8, I have the Houston Astros with Todd Collis and Jeff Bloom. Yeah, this is one of the better groups as well. They've been together for a minute here. You know what you're getting with the Astros broadcast group, and they come in for me at number 8. Number 7, I have the Cardinals with Chip Carey. So Chip Carey moved on from Atlanta to St. Louis. I'm not sure why he left the Braves. I think Chip Carey was actually better suited for the Braves. I think he's better suited for Atlanta than he is for St. Louis. But wherever Chip Carey goes, he's going to be good. One of the better voices in Major League Baseball. I have the Yankees with Michael Kay and a plethora of color guys. Michael Kay gets a lot of flack. Overall, I think Kay is one of the better announcers in baseball. He may talk a lot, but there's no denying he's been there a while, and you know what you're getting when you turn on a Yankee broadcast. Number 5, I have the Texas Rangers with Dave Raymond and David Murphy. Yeah, I do like the Rangers broadcast group. They be one of the few people that do know what you're getting out of these broadcasters in the top half of this list. It's consistency, and for me, it's really fun. I think some of these guys are really fun, and the Rangers are no exception to that. Number 4, I have the Colorado Rockies with Drew Goodman and Jeff Hudson. Yeah, the Rockies, one of the more underrated groups as well because they play in Colorado, so I'm not sure how many people tune in to Rockies games, but I definitely do tune into more games than probably the average fan does with the Rockies. And yeah, this is one of the better groups as well. I think Drew Goodman's been there a while, does a fantastic job, and I do like listening to Rockies games. Number three, you have the Los Angeles Dodgers with Joe and Oral. Joe Davis, Oral Hershiser, fantastic job by these two. It's a shame that we don't get them more often than we do. I think Joe Davis does like 90 Dodger games on the year, and it's a real shame. Let me just say that much right now because the Dodgers have yet to find a sufficient enough backup. If the Dodgers need somebody, they could, comment or something on my channel. But yeah, Joe and Oral, one of the best groups in the game. There's no denying that. Number two, I have the New York Mets with Gary, Keith, and Ron. Yeah, this is obviously one of the better groups in baseball. Get a lot of praise from a lot of fans, and I'm going to be one of the same people that I really do love the Mets broadcast, and the production on SNY is top notch as well. Just unbelievable production. And you get these three guys with Gary, Keith, and Ron. It's a baseball dream to watch the Mets broadcast. And the number one announcers in baseball, to my list, is going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I am very pleased to announce this because Steve Berthame and Bob Brenly, they do a fantastic job. They really hype up this Diamondbacks team and their players. And I think it's the reason why they're even hanging on to this wildcard spot the last couple of years and even 3 years. It's because of their broadcast group. Like, they really will them to the victory line, and they're just so fun to listen to. Steve Berthame does a fantastic job. Bob Brantley is just a perfect yin and yang for Steve. And yeah, they are just so fun to watch. Geraldo Perdomo, Corbin Carroll. He does a fantastic job. And I really hope this awakens people to listen to more D-backs games because they are the best in baseball. With that being said, as always, let me know what I should rank next.